It's 8:30. Good morning, I'm Jessica Rouse with Hunter News. A man wanted over a violent crime spree stretching from Sydney to Newcastle has finally surrendered to police after a 17-hour standoff at Tighes Hill. Ricky Kinchella is being questioned at Newcastle Police Station after being assessed by paramedics. He's accused of stabbing 3 men at a gym on Sydney's northern beaches before fleeing in a stolen BMW owned by ARU boss Bill Pulver. He's also accused of robbing service stations at Shortland and Sandgate. Georgie Wells from Police Headquarters says the 27-year-old climbed down off the roof of a Henry Street townhouse at about 4:45 this morning.
He's been assessed by New South Wales ambulance paramedics before being taken to Newcastle Police Station. Detectives from the Robbery and Serious Crime Squad Strike Force Fleet are expected to speak with the man as they believe he could assist them with their inquiries. They're investigating a triple stabbing at a gym at Brookvale, as well as 2 armed robberies at service stations at Shortland and Sandgate and 2 police pursuits this week. Investigations are continuing.
Emergency services have resumed the search for missing Newcastle University student Mohsin Awan. The 23-year-old Pakistani national was with a friend when they were swept off rocks by a freak wave at Nobby's Beach on Sunday night. Crews performed a wide grid search yesterday, but it's expected to be scaled down today. Scott McDonald says he's looking forward to taking up from where he left off after being reappointed to the role of Parliamentary Secretary for the Hunter. He was dumped from the job after the cabinet reshuffle by Premier Gladys Berejiklian in January, but has now been handed the job back after the sudden resignation of Catherine Cusack. Scott McDonald says his previous 2 years in the role has given him a good understanding of the major issues affecting the region.
But clearly the rollout of light rail and the development of the corridor there I think is very, very important, not just to Newcastle but to the whole Hunter economy. But look, there's lots going on. It doesn't matter if you're in Nelson Bay or you're down at Swansea. There's a huge amount going on, and I'm just very glad to be the voice of the government in the Hunter.
Women in the Maitland region are being encouraged to make use of a new breast screening facility at Rutherford. A mobile breast screening van is parked at Clubs Maitland City until the end of the month and will offer free breast screening to women aged over 40. Breast Screen New South Wales manager Rebecca Delaporte says there are still more than over 3,000 women in the region who are at risk without receiving a mammogram.
Until all women have breast checks, it's not enough. I can only encourage women to call 13 20 50 to book an appointment at either the Rutherford site or the East Maitland site that we currently have available. There's also always appointments available at the Newcastle Fix site as well.
And the Newcastle RSL sub-branch is today celebrating a milestone in its history, reaching 100 years of service. The branch was established in 1917 as a support service to return diggers and has played a pivotal role in the community. The centenary is being commemorated by a lunch attended by the New South Wales Governor-General David Hurley and HMAS Newcastle's commander Mark Sirois. Sub-branch President Ken Fale says he now hopes to welcome a new generation of diggers.
We would like to show that we've been here for 100 years serving the ex-service community, and we'd like to think that we're going to be here for another 50 or 100. I think every RSL sub-branch in Australia would love to see more of what I now call the contemporary vets when they finish their service joining us and making sure that we continue to look after the welfare of the diggers.
Sport for our sponsor PRD Nationwide East Maitland.
South Sydney's Georgie Burgess has been suspended for 2 games after an elbow shot on Newcastle's Mitch Barnett during last weekend's game. It comes after referees boss Tony Archer admitted Burgess should have been sent off rather than just sin-binned for 10 minutes. Burgess is one of 3 Rabbitohs suspended, with Hymel Hunt outed for 4 games for a reckless high tackle on Knights forward Brendan Elliott. Controversy plagued the game, with the Knights handed a breach notice after allowing Brendan Elliott back onto the field without a head injury assessment. Coach Nathan Brown says he trusted his medical staff's action and their decision during the game.
From all head coaches' point of view, all we do is sit in a box and the staff will pat themselves on the head, and that means he's coming off, and then they go through the due process, and if they pass their test, they're allowed to come back on. If they don't, they don't. And me, like I'd imagine every coach, you support your medical staff. That's why they're out there in the first place.
And Toronto Golf Club will face old rivals Waratah in the A-grade finals on Sunday at Newcastle Golf Club. Both teams have had a stellar year, with Waratah maintaining their perfect record-beating Merriweather 5-3 and Toronto finishing a close second with 4 wins this season. And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 27, 25, 44, 33, 6, 15 and 31, and the supplementaries are 26 and 19. 2NURFM News Time 25 to 9.